המדינות ואל השירים של כל המדינות. נולדתי ללשון וגם למקום, למעט להמון, שיושיט יד לשלום. אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יגיע, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יבוא, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יופיע, אני רוצה להיות כבר פה. אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יגיע, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יבוא, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יופיע, אני רוצה להיות כבר פה.
Hi everybody, today I am back on the shore of the Dead Sea.
But these are not the wild rocks of Qumran when I was last time. I've come to the resort, which is located much further south, in the southern part of the Dead Sea. This resort is called Ain Boker Beach. Today is the 1st of November, but it's very warm here, much warmer than on the Mediterranean coast of Israel. It's about 28 degrees Celsius and people are bathing, taking salt bath. Let me remind you once again, we are at a depth of 430 meters below the level of the world ocean. This is a giant crack in the ground, the so-called Afro-Syrian fault. 25 million years ago, this rift valley was connected to the Tethys Sea, the predecessor of the Mediterranean Sea. And about 3 million years ago, as a result of the rise of tectonic plates, this reservoir was cut off from the Tethys Sea. This place is very famous from the historical point of view. First of all, very close from here, in that direction, there is a mountain called Sodom. It is believed that in these places there were the mythological biblical cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, which the Lord punished. Although from my point of view these names are symbolic, I'm not a great expert in Hebrew, but it seems that Sodom in Hebrew means burning and Gomorrah means drowning. Well, anyway, okay, this place is quite suitable for such terrifying stories. But what is much more real is the fact that approximately on such a mountain, a little further to the right and north, the famous fortress of Masada is located. Masada is a symbol of the courage and steadfastness of the people of Israel. When the Romans captured Jerusalem in the 17th AD and destroyed the temple, then the last Jewish fortification was located on a mountain like this, not far from here. It was there where the Israelites fought their last battle. The forces of the defenders and attackers were unequal. And when it became clear to the Israelites that the fortress would fall, the last defenders decided to kill their women and children first. Then they stabbed each other, and the last defender set fire to the inner wooden walls of the fortress and stabbed himself. Therefore, for modern Israel, the fortress of Masada has a symbolic meaning. Soldiers of special units of the Israeli army come here to take the oath. I must say that the Dead Sea, as it was recently drawn on the map, doesn't exist. The flow of water from the Jordan River is decreasing. It is due to both the general dehumidification of the climate and human economic activity. The sea has become so shallow that now it already represents two separate reservoirs. There is one in the north and another is here, divided by industrial companies into sectors for salt extraction. And in the middle there is an isthmus That is why today it is already possible to cross from Israel to Jordan and back, not by sea as by dry land, simply by dry land. This idea of wellness by bathing in the waters of the Dead Sea, the use of salts extracted by these countless companies in the Dead Sea, from my point of view as a former professional chemist, seems absolutely insane. The sea is called dead because there is no organic matter in it. Even no bacteria live in it. Therefore, the sea is characterized only by the composition of salt. If you remember at least a little of the school chemistry course, then you should know that in water salt dissociates into cations and anions. Therefore, it is enough to simply take and measure the chemical composition of this water. Pick up the same number of cations and anions. These are potassium, calcium, magnesium, chlorides, a few sulfates and bromides. Mix them, making it from the simplest salts like table salt from a store and Epsom salt, which is sold in any pharmacy as a laxative. So you will get a completely identical, exactly the same salt. According to basic chemical and even quantum mechanical laws, one potassium ion cannot differ in any way from another potassium ion. Absolutely no way. The same rule applies to any other ions. Therefore, I would say that all these games with the marketing of Dead Sea salts and they use as a cosmetic product, this is an absolute scam, even more stupid than homeopathy or acupuncture. But people are willing to pay money for it, and business responds to people's needs, although I may say it creates these needs. As a marketer, I can say that business both creates and supports these needs by telling all sorts of tall tales. If people are willing to believe, then why not? All the same, we must admit that this is a completely unique place, a completely unique nature reserve, which is nowhere else on earth. Therefore, instead of this long and boring lecture, I'd rather just go for a swim in the waters of the Dead Sea. We are entering the Dead Sea. There is salt everywhere underfoot, salt and salt. Here, for the first time in my life, in the Dead Sea. It's really a can of brine. The water feels thick. Of course, it's a brine, saturated brine. It is a saturated solution of chlorides, sulfates, bromides, and ions of calcium, potassium, magnesium, and some others. In general, very salty water. The feeling here is radically different from the Mediterranean Sea. I would say that the Mediterranean Sea is much nicer. On the other hand, I cannot take a video camera to the Mediterranean because I don't want to draw on it. I hope I won't draw the camera unless I drop the tripod in the water. I'm lying in the Dead Sea. Here it is, meaningless mumbling. Well, I don't know. It's fun to try it once. But so, well, splashing in the brine. This brine feels a little slippery to the touch. There is no organic matter here, but the brine is slippery, it's strange. And that's why I might drop my tripod. I should hold it very tight. What can I say? 3 minutes was enough for me. More than enough. My God. The place is beautiful here, but swimming, it's for a fan. They say for a big fan. Of course, there are showers everywhere, because I feel like I've been smeared with olive oil. It is impossible to live here in this condition. Although, in fairness, it should be noted that being in such a brine can be beneficial for skin. It doesn't matter how such a composition is obtained. I'm not a doctor, I don't know. I'm just sure that such a composition can be obtained much cheaper. This part of the sea is divided by such dams into sectors.
Each sector has been bought out by some salt mining company.
Their dredges are now sucking out and destroying the remnants of what could have remained in nature. I guess that a few more generations will pass and the Dead Sea at least will not be longer in this place. And that's a pity. Without the Dead Sea, it's just a dull, empty crater. It's just a crevice in the middle of the desert. But even here, in this desert, on the shores of the Dead Sea, there are wild and terrible animals. Oh, honey, I have nothing to give you. You're a wild but a very small animal. Where are you going? Well, on that optimistic note, our journey is coming to an end. I'll try to get out of here before the Sabbath. But I'll go in the other direction, not through Beersheba, but straight north along the shore of the Dead Sea to Jerusalem and from there to Haifa. With that I say goodbye, all the best and bye-bye!
Shalom.